Hello, everybody. Welcome. We've got We Like Dota League 2025, more group stage action for you. Wex Division, Week 3. Got Savoury Characters versus 5reg 5ive to kick things off. It's gonna be a matchup of league admins, as we've got Benj and Shio on Savoury Characters. And then Liberace and Greg, a lot of old podcast crew on 5reg 5ive. So these are two classic teams in WLDL. Definitely going to be a fun matchup between these two. Both teams having a little bit of a rough start to their season. Savoury Characters only played one matchup so far. They've actually got their Week 2 matchup after this series. They lost their first series against Looming Fruit, and 5reg 5ive has lost both of their series so far. Double check who they played against. So both teams looking for a W here. We'll see if they're able to find it. 5reg 5ive won the coin flip. I missed what they chose, so we'll find out once we get in. And we've got that draft coming for you right away. I'm excited to see what these two teams have got, see what they can put together to get things going in their season. As getting into the lobby, there we go.
Ban.
Let's see. It looks like 5reg 5ive took last overall pick, and then Savoury Characters took rate. Knowing that 5reg 5ive won the coin flip, that's how I assume things would have gone. I don't think they would have picked Dire. Radiant is back in fashion, as it often is.
To go.
And Savoury Characters, I think, tend to prefer last pick. Dark Willow, the first ban for Savoury Characters. This has been a pretty popular support in the league. I believe Praetor is also known to play it mid. Praetor does some kind of goofy mid heroes sometimes, which is fun to watch. Looking forward to potentially some of that. Let's see. Yeah, it was against Make Turbo Turbo again. Praetor played a mid Dark Willow. Won the lane, ended up losing the game. But still good stuff. Clockwork taken out. On the other side, Quap and Lena banned out. So 5reg 5ive going with the common Savoury Characters draft strategy of ban all of Chio's heroes. They will take out the Lich, so they'll show some respect over to the supports. We've got Savoury Characters usually has a little bit of a rotation because they're kind of all over the world, so it depends on who's available for when they schedule. Got Benj in the match this time. I think he was sitting out last time. So he's typically the position 4, and then we'll see who picks up position 5. Definitely could be Pepperboy, I think is probably the most likely candidate. Usually slots in there. They're going to open up with a Ricky pick. This one is spicy, because I'm not sure how much Ricky we've seen from Savoury Characters in the past. It looks like this is the first time they're picking
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
I'm not seeing much Ricky from, so that's a fun one. Curious where that will land, because I feel like we've been seeing Ricky a little all over the place. I think he hasn't been much of a support lately, but still can fit into that role, kind of a discount Bounty Hunter, but Bounty Hunter was unbanned. So if you wanted that, I think you'd just go with Bounty Hunter. That's a little more of the meta Invis support hero. So I'm guessing this will be a carry, could even be like an off-lane Ricky, I think we've seen, or a mid Ricky. I could definitely see Chio playing it. 5reg 5ive pick up the classic Jakiro. Hard support to go wrong with. And honestly, this maybe could even be a flex pick. I can imagine Praetor playing it. I'd love to see somebody do like a core Jakiro build with the double auto attacks. Like I feel like that must be viable to some degree. Obviously not crazy good, or we'd be seeing it all over the place. But yeah, Bounty Hunter Nick. So Savoury Characters do not want those Invis position 4s showing up on the other side of the draft. Yeah, Lich, Shadow Demon were the other bands. I don't think we talked about those too much. And now they'll take out the Magnus. That's something we saw Chio play mid in week 1.
Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds.
Alright, so what are they going to go to for next pick? Well, they want to open up this phase with. It's going to be the Winter Wyvern, kind of stealing it away. We saw Chio play a Midwinter Wyvern. This could be a Praetor Wyvern. This could be a support Wyvern. Curious to see where this ends up. Very dragon-focused draft from 5reg 5ive so far. Dragon Knight is in the pool. See if they're able to grab it. I could see Savoury Characters taking it as well. Been one of the premium carry heroes lately.
Radiant's pick.
They're going to pick up the Dawnbreaker, so that's going to be a nice little combo with the Ricky to have the Invis hero scouting out for them. Try to set up plays with the Dawnbreaker. Also just plays really nicely, being able to farm anywhere on the map and then jump into fights when needed. And they'll add a Bloodseeker to that. So this is looking more like a support Ricky. At the very least, we can expect the Bloodseeker to be carried. Could go mid. We used to see that more. Lately, I don't think we see the mid Bloodseeker too much. But he's been another big carry hero. High up in the meta. So excited to see most likely 4 beats picking that one up. I think another hero that we haven't really seen much from Savoury Characters. This is a pretty new, fresh draft for them, which I like. Yeah, they've never picked that before. They've never picked the Dawnbreaker before. I still haven't spotted where Ricky is on their hero history. They probably were playing a lot of Ricky on bench back when it like was in meta. 5reg 5ive's gonna respond with the Timber Saw. Big lane winner, either in mid or off lane typically. So that's a spicy one to come out. Not a lot of strength heroes. You got just Dawnbreaker on the other side,
10
who
seconds to
Timbersaw
go.
really likes to punish, but is still a really solid laner overall.
5 seconds.
What else do they want to round out this part of the draft with? They've got overall last pick. I think they're going to use that flexibility, keep the threat up of like either the Wyvern or the Timbersaw. Those are like two such different heroes to have to consider being a possibility in the mid lane. And you don't even know if that's going to be like they could also just pick a third here. Like those easily slot into offlane and support as well. A lot of flexibility knowing that Praetor is willing to play some funky heroes. And that's going to give them a lot of power with this overall last pick in the draft. They are getting low in the reserve time. 12 seconds to go. They're going to grab the Chaos Knight. And again, we expect to see that carry, but that's a hero that we've seen offlane historically as well. So there's still, a lot of question marks with how 5reg 5ive have this lineup. I think that makes it... No, I don't even think it's a guarantee that that's the Wyvern support yet. The Timber and Wyvern still look super flexible, and they could even do weird things beyond that too, but I don't think that'll be necessary. So for Savoury Characters, they're now staring down a couple pretty beefy, difficult heroes to deal with. The Bloodseeker is going to help them with that. Especially the Timbersaw. Getting Rupture onto the Timbersaw is going to be pretty big for mitigating his mobility in the team fights. So I think they kind of have that handled a little bit. I want to see what they pick up. I think the Dawnbreaker is going to help them with the Chaos Knight as well. They've got a lot of AoE damage from her, but probably looking for something else that's going to beef up their damage. They're going to go for the Rubik. This is a pretty solid Rubik game, especially that Chaos Knight and Jakiro. As long as you don't get the Chaos Knight's ult, his pull and stun are both great great spells for Rubik to steal. Jakiro's always got something good for it, and grab some ability off of the Timbersaw. I like this Rubik game a lot. Zeus gonna be banned out by Savoury Characters. I think we saw Praetor play a Zeus mid last week, so makes sense to... They're thinking that there's nothing too spicy with the 5reg 5ive picks going on.
10 seconds to go.
And they're looking to round off their draft with him.
5
5reg 5ive bans the Vengeful Spirit, so it looks like they're thinking this Riki is mid, which I still think is absolutely on the table. But they're recognizing that flex option there too. They ban out the Ember Spirit. I know Chio's been playing a lot of Venge in general in her pubs, so that could also be a ban directed at her.
10 seconds to go.
I think it's mostly been support games.
5 seconds.
But we could absolutely see the mid-Venge come out if they like how it fits into the draft. One last ban for Savoury Characters before we close out the draft. I think what else they want to protect here. I don't know, both drafts are pretty well-rounded, other than if you end up with a mid-Riki. I think you're a little... I wouldn't mind seeing something gross like a Viper. And you don't really need to protect a Viper, so I'd just go back and... You can maybe even ban, like, the Silencer. Because Silencer can be a problem for a lot of the heroes on Savoury Characters. I think that would be my pick of ban. Because I think that would work fine in the 5reg 5ive draft. They could put it mid, they could put it support, and play the Wyvern core. However they prefer to do it for their comfort in lanes. But we'll see what they're thinking here. You already have the Nyx Assassin banned out, kind of pre-protected the Dawnbreaker with that one, which I like to see. Like a classic Dawn counter, because you can just pop your Spiked Carapace when she starts to ult and cancel her ult and prevent her from joining the team fights. Makes it pretty annoying. The Silencers... Oh, they actually banned the Viper. I would have liked seeing them pick up the Viper here. Because I feel like they could use something other than Dawnbreaker that can frontline a bit. Maybe they do that with a support pick, though. Maybe this is a Riki in the mid lane,
10
and
seconds
then
to go.
you get a Abaddon is still in the
5
pool.
seconds.
Abaddon would be pretty sick here. Gives you a Dispel for Chaos Knight stuff, gives you a Dispel for Jakiro stuff, helps you keep somebody alive in the Winter Wyvern ult. Yeah, I really like Abaddon. It's a little awkward if you're gonna lane that with the Bloodseeker. But you could lane it with the Dawnbreaker and probably get away with it. They go Leshrac, so this is this is probably a support Ricky. This is fun. So that's their answer. I wonder if they're expecting to see the Timbersaw mid. Because I feel like that matches up okay into it.
10 seconds to go.
Very interesting. And not a lot of reserve time for 5reg 5ive, so they need to think
5
pretty
seconds.
quick about what their response for this is going to be. They have it at their ready. It's a Wraith King. So now it's an off-lane... It's a mid-Wraith King. It's Praetor on the Wraith King. Interesting. And then I'm not as familiar with all of the players on 5reg 5ive, but I imagine that puts it as Uranium Heart on carry with the Chaos Knight and X2 in the offlane with Timber. If they're doing something crazy like a support Chaos Knight, I would love to see that, because I feel like that hero does actually kind of work as a support. I'm guessing that's not what they're doing. It is Benj on the Ricky, which we kind of figured when we saw the Leshrac. That's going to be fun to watch. I've not seen support Ricky in a while. Hatch draft, both teams looking pretty decked out. This Chaos Knight is doing a lot for me. Timbersaw's pretty good too. This Jakiro set looks sick. The Wyvern's good. Got the Wraith King Arcana. Ophelia's decked out on the Leshrac. You got Rubik Arcana. It's pretty even Hatch draft. Benj is cheating a little bit. Got the Golden Horns with a different headpiece that won't be how that looks in-game. We won't see the gold horns. It does look sick like that, but yeah, that's how it's gonna look. It's a close one. I think I'm gonna give it to 5reg 5ive for the hats. As for who I'm liking the drafts for more, I'm very curious to see how this
Better get ready.
how this mid-Wraith King is. I think that's going to be a crux of it, is how this, this is not a mid-matchup you ever see of Leshrac versus Wraith King. So I'm curious how well he'll handle that. Does have the skeleton, so is looking to kind of farm up more. We got our classic Greg introductions coming out. We got Winter Gregdern, Chaos Greg, Great, Skeleton Gregging, Gregorsaw, and Greg Kiro. Excellent.
30 seconds to go.
Benj, it's Uranium Heart with the tip for that. Immediately admins breaking rules of the league in this admin v admin matchup. Both sides kind of swapping, picking up, moving into the enemy jungle, so it looks like they'll fully miss each other here.
You can't improve until you make mistakes. You can't improve until you make mistakes.
They're calling themselves out as well. Runes are going to get split. Dawnbreaker Vision goes out. Not going to see anything too spicy.
This is gonna be good.
So let's see. Yeah, it's going to be Pepperboy and Benj laning together. Dawnbreaker Ricky lane will be a little interesting. There's a lot of weird lanes here that I'm looking forward to seeing how they go. Got Ursi on the Wyvern, and yeah, X2 on the off lane, Timber. So it's what we expected once we saw Praetor lock in. And yeah, they're laning their Rubik with the Bloodseeker, which makes sense. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they opt to take the support Ricky and then ban the Bounty Hunter. But I'm guessing it's mostly a comfort thing. Like I said, I remember Ben playing more of the support Ricky when it was more in meta. I'm curious to see how he makes it work here. Both sides have pretty good kill potential in this off lane. We might get some good action out of them. Down bot. Good amount of lane bullies here, too. Getting a nice Blood Right silence onto X2. Fate's laying into X2 with the right clicks before that reactive armor is available. Trying to get as much harass as they can in now before this Timber starts getting harder to deal with. So far, pretty quiet start. Things pretty even across the board. Battle for the control of the pull camps going on down here. We miss First Blood, as is tradition in WLDL. 4Fates takes down X2's Timbersaw. So yeah, really putting on the pressure through the lack of Blood Right. We're going to miss another kill up top, and Savoury Characters, 2 core kills in the lane at the 2-minute mark. This is a very good start for them. We missed some crazy body blocks. We might go back and watch that. If we've got downtime between the 2 series today, maybe we'll go back and check out some replays of things we missed. That would be fun. Do a little extra analysis of the games while we're waiting for things to start. Depends how much time we have. Now things calming down a little bit. Pepperboy a little lower on resources. Not going to be as aggressive, but those still have the hammer in the chamber. Gonna get stunned up now. Greg making the way over to the Lotuses. Gonna get the grab of it before Benj can. Pepperboy still eating some harass from Uranium Heart, though. He's gonna get pushed back. Who got the Lotus in the bot lane? Nobody yet? Oh, somebody got it and maybe used it already. Ooh, Chain not quite in time to get out of the Blood Right, but actually still doesn't have the reactive armor. So isn't going to be regening up too quickly. It doesn't have the full durability yet, opting to get lower cooldown on the Timber Chain, get a little bit more mobility to try to escape those Blood Rights. Made it going pretty well for Praetor so far. I wouldn't have imagined this is a great matchup for Wraith King. And now falling a little behind by like half a level in XP. But the last hits are right there. So, going pretty well for this unconventional matchup. Got Ursi hunting down 4-beats Courier over here, trying to dodge it through the trees. Ursi does manage to track it down. 4-beats potentially looking for the punish, but is just going to end up going back over the lane. Up top, control and damage into Pepperboy. Doesn't have the Celestial Hammer. Is going to turn, though, and slam down the Starbreaker. Benj getting in there for some damage, throwing out the taunt. But the attack speed's going to get slowed up by Greg, so there's not going to be much more they can do. Pepperboy sitting a little low now. Working on that Soul Ring, looking to get that extra mana, apply a bit better pressure, help out with the farming as well. Got a little pull by 4-fates. Nice little lane advantage there, getting a creep out of the way. Ursi still kind of courier hunting, might find Rubik's Courier here, also getting the camps blocked up. Isn't going to spot out the vision immediately, though, and that block ward doesn't quite see the pillar either. Actually going to be pulling this whole creep wave over here, but it's going to end up getting turned around as they get down to the low ground. From the mid lane, Ophelia is going to hit level 6 first. Has that big damage from Pulse Nova ready to go. I'll see how much that comes into play. I'm sure she'd love to get a kill on Praetor before level 6, but that's not going to happen. Gets the Reincarnation ready to go. and full-on mana, so not too much of a threat here. Gonna look to steal the Wisdom Rune, denied by Ophelia, so we'll prevent that from getting picked up. Doesn't have a bottle on Praetor, so does not mind that as much. Ophelia would have loved to pick that one up, but was not going to be able to. Praetor to it, especially without a point in Split Earth, just going full damage build in this lane. And it is, I mean, it's working out in the last hit. It's taking a bit of a lead there. Big denies as well.
That should help.
Up top, things still pretty chill. Everybody's pretty full on health. Nothing crazy going on. 4beat's taking a little bit of harass from Ursi, but the Wyvern's can be forced to retreat as 4fate steps up to threaten. Got 10 seconds to the Wisdom Runes. Nobody on the move over there immediately. Scan going out, worried about a mid-rotation, perhaps. There's a dire scan. But Ophelia now showing back on the wave. Ursi is going to go scoop up the Dire Wisdom Rune for them. See if anybody sneaks over with Benj not picking up this one yet. Benj is going to get over and steal some Bounty Runes for the Radiant side. Get some deeper vision while they're in the area. Pepperboy maybe looking for an opportunity to go on the Dawnbreaker here. Benj is coming back over the lane, though, so it'll just be a little more harass. Tough lane for the Dawnbreaker into the Jakiro. With the damage of the Chaos Knight plus all of the harass. Is a tough one. Ursi coming back to lane from the Wisdom Rune, getting pretty low, but X2 looking to fight back. 4beats and 4fates. Also not on the most health. 4fates gets the big zap. Level 2 Fade Bolt plus the level in Arcane Supremacy finishes off the Winter Wyvern. X2. Boy, we did get the Wisdom Rune. Picked up by Bench, grabbing it before it gets stolen. It looks like Greg was in the area and interested. Now can I get a rotation potentially from Benj, but it looks like deciding to head back to Invis Rune on Praetor. Ophelia is sitting a little low and out of wand charges, so Praetor may be looking to get something. Yeah, he's going to throw out the Bone Guards, has the stun, charging under the tower, all of the skeletons stretching in, but they turn and go on the tower as they lose vision of the Leshrac. Now they're going to look to punish this. Silence up, they're going to get the first kill. Both supports arriving to the lane for Savoury Characters. Now, can they hold down Praetor to get another one? Ursi's going to make the rotation over. Ophelia's still a little low. Zap comes in from Rubik, stun out. Praetor wants to finish off this kill, wants to at least make it a trade. Benj getting the slow in, Ophelia dodging away. Nice save from Ursi, but now 4feet's into the mix. They're going to get a Rupture onto Praetor. They're committing everything. Going to go for the TP out, pushing him away, but he's going to get away. They end up only getting Ursi. They bring 4 heroes here and only able to pick up the first kill. And they lose Pepperboy top with the supports gone. They know that they are free to move in and get a move on the Dawnbreaker. So overall, I mean, that TP out from Praetor, they did at least get the reincarnation down, so they can maybe look to make a play on him. And he's getting forced out of lane for a bit as he has to walk away. We'll see 4beats is going to stay in the area here, pick up some farm in the mid lane, swap Ophelia down to the bot lane. X2 is going to find 4fates walking back to lane here. The tricky spot for the Rubik. Chakram comes back. X2 is right on top of him and is going to find the kill with one more Timber Chain. Ophelia making their way over, but not going to be able to get there in time to help out. Now, Praetor able to get back to the mid lane. Looks like 4beats and Ophelia are going to go back to their original lanes as well. Looks like 5reg 5ive wanting to get some pressure onto the tower. A Rupture out from 4beats on the illusion. We'll pretend we didn't see that. And 4fates is going to find a kill on Greg up top as they look to bring both supports here. But now Praetor and X2 are going to try to turn this around. They start with the stun from the Wraith King. Getting the skeletons out as well. X2 chasing forward. Benj able to blink strike away over to 4fates. Pepperboy still trying to retreat. 4fates throwing out the stuns. Ursi a little low is going to go into the Cold Embrace to heal up. It looks like 4fates might be the sacrificial lamb for this go. 4beats heading up here as well, but just going to head over to farm some Ancients, as it's like the fight is disengaging. Forfeit still making a good amount of space, juking and jiving, but eventually does get hit by the big crit from Praetor, finishing off the Rubik. Gives Ophelia some space to get some tower pressure, something that Aleshrak loves to do. It's like, once this wraps up on the Fortify, should be able to finish it off. Greg does want to try to get a punish. Ophelia's sitting pretty low, but Benj in the area as well, so has to be careful how they position here. It's like is going to be okay for now. This is the second Cold Embrace under the tower that I've seen from Ursi. But X2 is plenty tanky enough to deal with that. Lots of low health on the side of Savoury Characters. They think about engaging with the Timber Saw, but decide better of it.
No breaking down the radiant structures like this.
Praetor and Greg looking to return the favor of getting pressure on the mid tower. The Radiant Fortify will help out to stymie that. 4 beats. I'm gonna go match up with Uranium Heart. Both carries gonna go down to farm in bot lane. Take a look at our net worth. Pretty close between Ophelia and Uranium Heart. Both topping the charts right now. And then it's X2 a little bit ahead, but basically all 4 cores just behind the rest there. Both sides kind of still playing around this top lane. Benj doing some scouting, has the level 6 now. Really getting online with the way the support Ricky wants to be playing. Scouting things out, maybe looking to set up a kill with Praetor. Does have the Reincarnate back up, so it's going to be quite a bit to get through, but it looks like they do want to go in on it. They get the silence, getting the slows out, sets up for a very nice split earth, and that's going to be the first kill. Now retreating, stun up on Ophelia, but getting the damage out, Praetor is going to be forced to back away. So they'll take down the Reincarnate, and then won't have enough to be able to finish off the second kill, but at least puts threat on Praetor. We'll see if they try to make a play to bring down this Wraith King before the Reincarnate comes back up. Down bot, both carries seem pretty content farming in lane against each other. We are going to see Benj making the rotation over here. Still trying to look to set things up, so maybe trying to put something together with 4 beats. Haven't seen much action from the Solar Guardian on Pepperboy, so curious to see if they look to set something up with that. I'd love to see the combo with the Ricky scouting out. See if we get any of that action. Ricky has just come through the gate. We've got both supports up here. Benj is going to spot them out. Going forward on to Greg. Sets up the Starbreaker. Hammer comes down from Pepperboy. Finishes off the Jakiro. X2 showing up in the area. We're going to get a short-range Solar Guardian. That's going to be enough with the damage from Ophelia to finish off Ursi. And they're going to move forward onto X2. And Benji finishes it off with the Blink Strike. 3 down, none lost for Savoury Characters. Big fight for them to get things rolling out of the laning stage. It's like they're going to chain this into bringing down the tier 1 tower in the top lane. And it looks like Ophelia already interested in getting things going in the bot lane, going right through the portal. Uranium Heart wants to finish off this tower, just fully ignoring the damage. It's huge from Ophelia. Event comes in, they all connect. 4 heroes that just finished taking your top lane. They immediately rotate bot, showing up and bringing down the carry. Excellent rotations by Savoury Characters. That's going to set the stage for them to pick up this last of the tier 1 towers and get themselves off to a nice, secure map as the game starts rolling. The classic joke when it comes to Savoury Characters is that they are known for having long games. When I mentioned that in the lobby before the game started, knowing that they've got 4 games ahead of them today with both of their series scheduled back-to-back, 4beats said that they are doing more tempo drafting now, and we're starting to see what that looks like. They're certainly getting the tempo rolling so far. 9-3, 2k net worth lead at 16 minutes. See if they can keep the foot on the gas, keep the tempo rolling, as they now start to look and encroach into more of the dire map. with all of those tier 1 towers down. Haven't talked too much about items. We've got the Kaya on Ophelia's Leshrac, working on the Bloodstone, also looking at a Blink Dagger. We've got Blade Mail on Pepperboy, helping with the farm and helping dish some of that damage back at the Dire team. 4 beats, Phase Boots done, Sacred Relic, getting pretty close to that Radiance. That'll start really accelerating the farm for 4 beats. That classic kind of mixed magic and physical damage that we see out of the Bloodseekers lately. Uranium Heart with the Echo Saber Armlet, so this guy is hitting things all kinds of fast. If you get a scan out from the Radiant, they're gonna know that Uranium Heart or somebody is farming up here. Benj is gonna be the one to go scout it out. It looks like the Chaos Knight will probably be moving out of this area soon, though probably still planning to stick around here a bit. Definitely looks like Benj will find them. Kind of hanging out, waiting for the Chaos Knight to show. This is where it should finally happen, but Uranium Heart's actually going to make their way over. Defend the tower, going to get the pull on to Pepperboy. Setting up for the stun. Has the Blade Mail, Wraithfire Blast from the Rubik. Nice Starbreaker onto 2 as Ursi shows up. All of 5reg 5ive here, looking to turn this push back around on Savoury Characters. Characters are going to back up. They have a Haste Rune on their Leshrac. See if they want to try to fight around that. X2 farming in the area as well. Now they're going to smoke up all 5 on Savoury Characters. Look to wrap around behind this tower. Still having the sense that Uranium Heart is farming over here. The smoke breaks, get stunned immediately because they have the Watcher. And now the Wyvern ult on top of the Rubik. Dawnbreaker is going to connect to try to save. 4 Fates falling low. Benj in the backline is going to get popped. Big ult from Greg, throwing down the Macropyre on top of the whole fight. Praetor in the mix as well. It's a full 5v5. We've got fights happening in multiple places. Rupture out on X2 is going to force them to stay in place, but it's 3 dead on the side of Savoury Characters. Benj already falling. They're going to look to try to make it a full team wipe. 4 beats, wants to find the TP out, and they don't have the stuns available to stop the Ice Paths off the mark. Could not get the Wraithfire Blast off on time, so 4 beats escapes the potential team wipe, but 5reg 5ive answering back in a big way, getting the tempo swinging back in the other direction with a good old 4 for nothing. Almost, yeah, like 3k plus gold swing on that one. Taking the net worth lead fully away. Right back in their favor. They're going to turn that into a tier 1 tower as well. Alright, what's next on the docket for these guys? We've got Blade Mail being worked on by X2. It's pretty nearby. Radiance being worked on by the Wraith King. Yeah, we looked at Uranium Heart's items. Force Staff already done on Ursi. Looking at a Yules for Greg. Help set up those Ice Path stuns and have something to purge off. There's not much that you're looking to self-dispel on this team. Just a few slows and such. Nothing crazy that you need to get out of. Not like a Silencer or Venomancer on the team. Smoke up again on Savoury Characters, looking to make a play. It's just going to be with 4 this time, letting 4 beats, getting some farm with that fresh Radiance. Tier 1 tower is going to go down, so all 6 Tier 1 towers have fallen now. 4 Fates going to start off heading towards Praetor. Silence up, follow up from Benj. Pepperboy and Ophelia right in on the back. Going to get the Wyvern ult, but it's not going to be enough to save Greg as the damage from Ophelia keeps coming out. Praetor is going to get an Illusion Rune, going to try to use that to escape. Does have the Reincarnate available. It's going to go be the first death for Praetor, and they've got the control this time. 4 beats showing up as well. Blood right on top of Silence, and that's going to be Praetor falling. 4 Fates does go down. Praetor picks up that kill, but X2 trying to get in the mix, now just trying to get out, but Benj denies that Blink strike forward to finish it off. So another good fight from Savoury, and it swings back the other way. And what has been a pretty action-packed start of this game, 20 kills in 20 minutes between the 2 teams. Nothing too crazy, but getting a lot of big team fights right away is very fun to see. Sanj finished on the Dawnbreaker, looking for the S and Y best way to get, and kind of only way to get any status resistance these days. So it's been a very popular item, sometimes being seen more than BKB. Combine that with the shard, it's going to be really hard to lock down this Dawnbreaker in any kind of way. Ophelia steals the 21-minute Wisdom Rune. That's a nice little pickup for the side of Savoury Characters. That's going to get this XP swinging even farther in their favor. Yule's almost there on Greg. We've got the Blade Mail done. Looking at a Pipe of Insight for Timbersaw next. That'll be a big one to mitigate the damage from Ophelia, who's been still the top of the net worth for the side of Savoury Characters. Uranium Heart is getting out to a chunkier lead here. Has the Yasha done, looking at the Manta, nearly has that finished. Looks like that'll be on the way in a moment. A couple hundred gold away. Really get big illusions going, especially with the Reigns of Chaos innate. Chance for an extra Manta illusion. Love to see it.
Dire's mid-tower's having technical difficulties.
The things quieting down for the moment. Savoury Characters, though, doing a great job playing on the enemy side of the map, getting good vision out. Oh, or see... okay, does end up seeing the Observer Ward at first, threw down just the Sentry. But worried. Praetor getting some sneaky farm over on the Radiant side of the map, knowing that Savoury are occupying the Dire side pretty thoroughly. But lots of vision for both sides up in this triangle. This ward also keeping Savoury pretty in control of the Dire side of the map. Ben's looking to scout things out, again having the sense that somebody would be farming over here, but a Uranium Heart actually going to TP out. 5reg 5ive, they're going to sit up on their Tormentor. Nice little side objective to pick up. Mercy gets a little low, but can be totally fine. And they get their shard for the hero. Going to give the buff to the Liquid Fire. Max health damage can be pretty good for helping deal with getting through the big health of the Dawnbreaker. Other cores aren't super low HP heroes either, especially once Ophelia gets the Bloodstone finish. See Spike in there. Has the Blink Dagger ready to go, so really looking to play actively with this Leshrac, which is always fun to see. Diffusal on bench, so is just still going kind of a core build. And no, they didn't actually have any vision there. That was just X2 farming the way of bench getting caught in the crossfire. Praetor and Uranium Heart are down here near Pepperboy. Don't know if they're aware that the Dawnbreaker's in the area. Actually, Uranium Heart heading through Wingate. So both sides pretty content to farm for the moment. Both sides have great farmers, especially with the Radiance is up. You've got the Bone Guard on Praetor. Got all the illusions. Yeah, there's that bonus illusion from the innate. All these CK illusions going to be putting in work, keeping lanes pushed out. So things starting to slow down. See what timing these teams are looking for. Looks like the Ag's timing for the Bloodseeker is coming up here. That could be what Savoury Characters look to play around. I think that plus the Bloodstone, which, yeah, that's going to arrive for Ophelia. With an Arcane Rune as well, they definitely want to look to make a play with this. I'd love to see, yeah, you've got the Smoke on 4 Fates, Spirit Vessel done there, help mitigate some of that healing, because kind of all of 3 cores have innate regen, and then Wyvern with the heals as well. Looks like they're going to do Roshan as their objective that they go for this time. I kind of would have preferred seeing them go for a fight, but this is perfectly valid too. This will be pretty free. Once they have it, I think we'll see 5reg 5ive play fairly cautiously from here. So it'll make it a little harder to try to find a fight. We'll see what they're able to put together. Uranium Heart is actually farming in this area. They're going to immediately smoke. They want to run at this Chaos Knight, and Uranium Heart is just starting to back away. But they still see him. They've still got the read on this. Uranium Heart potentially saw the pulse. Oh, is still going to farm in this area. That's super dangerous. They're going to be able to find this kill. They're going to set up, get the Rupture down, all of the stuns. Reality Rift kind of pulls them out of the Split Earth, but that does not matter. That's a really nice sequence for Savoury Characters. Able to get that Roshan, get the Aegis, get that for their Bloodseeker, and then immediately turn it into a smoke kill onto the enemy carry. Exactly what they're looking to do. That's going to get things rolling here again. Bench scouting things out, spotting Greg here, but a few other heroes in the UK as well. I mean, not exactly looking to go for a big jump.
The Dire might want to mine their top tower. Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
And Savoury Characters now going to look to turn it into the top tier 2. That'll be the first of the tier 2 towers they try to bring down. Pepperboy going to go relieve some of the pressure on their safe lane tier 2. Want to find Praetor in the area. Praetor's actually going to be the one that finds Pepperboy. They both kind of bump into each other as Pepperboy clears out the creep wave. See if either of them want to commit to going on each other. Are going to get the Wraithfire Blast from Praetor. I don't think Pepperboy can bring down Praetor twice. But Praetor may be a little wary of the Blade Mail available on the Dawnbreaker. It does have that S&Y finish, so the Wraithfire Blast only lasts so long. Let's see, what else do we got cooking for these heroes? Shiva's being worked on by Ophelia, starting with that plate mail, which is a good call against the Wraith King and Chaos Knight. Progression slowed down a little bit for the CK, looking at a Heart next, try to get those illusions nice and beefy. Still up at the top of that net worth, though. Now Ben getting things started with the initiation, Blink Strike in, Rupture out, but Ophelia gets brought down by Praetor immediately. Gets spotted out, and now 4beats is in trouble. Does have the Aegis. Uranium Heart low on health, but surviving. Praetor's going to go down the first time. Benj gets in to finish off Uranium Heart. The help of Pepperboy. Trying to keep them at bay now, though, is the second life of Praetor coming through. 4beats chasing down the Timbersaw, though. This Bloodseeker is strong. Has the Ags finished as well. Greg delaying the inevitable with the Yule Scepter is going to go down, and Praetor could be in trouble too. 4beats charging forward with the Blood Mist out on top of Praetor, and they're going to find the kill onto the Wraith King. So a tricky start for Savoury Characters, losing Ophelia, but they end up winning the fight in the end, trading 2 for 4, bringing that net worth lead up to 5k. I missed what killed Ophelia there. I should have checked the death summary. I saw Praetor got the final hit, so I think they just spotted her out. Yeah, still pinging this vision. He's saying, like, guys, they saw me up here when I was trying to position. They actually do, I think that ward died, either during that fight or shortly thereafter, because it's not actually there anymore. Another Wisdom Rune gonna get stolen by Ophelia. So yeah, level 18 on all 3 cores for the Radiant side. Uranium Heart just getting to that level 18 on the Chaos Knight as well. Has that Agnim Shard for even more illusions. Spawning off the Chaos Bolt. Vision comes out from the Dawnbreaker, seeing the Dire side mostly just backed up into their base. Now 4beats now up at the top of the net worth. Pepperboy right behind, getting a whole lot out of that last fight. Yeah. Swings back and forth, so we'll see if 5reg 5ive are able to get this going as Ben jumps forward looking to punish, but they have the Force Staff available. Nicely played by Ursi to get their buddy out of there. I haven't talked too much about the neutral items. I haven't seen anything crazy. The Vindicator's Axe is nice for the Dawnbreaker. Seems like some of these neutral items look like they didn't get neutral items they wanted. Like a bullwhip on Electrak doesn't... I guess the movement speed can be nice. I feel like you don't see anybody taking Light Collector anymore. As they're going to look to get some control on Praetor. Does have the Reincarnate back up, is level 18, so it's not too long of a cooldown. Ursi chasing forward, gets the Winter's Curse out onto Rubik, but Benj able to sidestep it. Now here comes Pepperboy looking to connect on top of this. 4beats showing up as well, and Ophelia's in on the backline. This could be tricky for 5reg 5ive. Ophelia getting brought down low quickly, though. Has the Bloodstone to be able to bring it back, and yeah, now they're all regenning up. Ursi's going to go down. They do have the Ags finished on the Wraith King's Uranium Heart. It's going to extend the life just enough to bring down Ophelia, but the rest of the squad is down. Praetor dies the first time, and there goes the second life just as quickly. Benj already setting up on Ursi. This one's looking like a full team wipe. And yeah, that's going to be the last of them falling. So once again, only Ophelia lost. Ultra kill for 4beats. And that's going to be the start of high ground here for Savoury Characters. They're very well positioned here to get things rolling in this game 1. Try to start closing things out. It's 32 minutes in, bringing down the first of the tier 3s. Respawns aren't too long, so we will see 5reg 5ive popping back up. Only X2 and Greg so far to be able to contest this, so it looks like they'll be able to pretty safely get this full set of racks. Ursi is coming back up. We'll have the Winter's Curse shortly thereafter. 4beats charging forward, gets the Rupture out on the X2 that's so difficult for the Timbersaw to play into. They're going to be able to clean up Greg. Oh, does get a nice Winter's Curse, just catches 4beats there. Not quite enough to kill off 4beats, though. X2 wants to get in and finish it off, and is going to be able to do so, but at what cost? Silenced up by the Bloodright, and the Cold Embrace does not come out in time. 4beats does get brought down by Ursi, though. Get the return kill, and now they're going to look for more. Ben's going to get stunned up and brought down. So getting some punish here. They do finish off the barracks. Hit from Ophelia on 4beats. Oh, what did happen? I can't see the death summary. I hate when that happens. Oh, I can see that death summary. I see the Bloodseeker death summary. There it is. I don't know why it doesn't fully work. A lot of that. So much of that self-inflicted. I mean, that's how the hero works, but like maybe leaving the Blood Mist on a little too long there. It is. I mean, 5reg 5ive do take advantage of that and immediately push down the mid lane, picking up their first tier 2 tower on the map. Swing things back in their favor a little bit. See, we've got Bastard done. Oh, Ben's looking to set up on Uranium Heart, looking for the TP away. Do they have a way to interrupt it? They do. They get the Starbreaker stun. They're going to bring down the Chaos Knight. Another nice little pickup for Savoury Characters. Crucial pickoffs to keep things going towards this win if they can continue to make it happen.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now. Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Alright, checking on the Roshan. It's a little bit of a long timer. It looks like that was almost a max timer. Looks like that was basically a max timer. That's a little crazy. So they're hoping that comes up. The Dire's scanning. They know that Radiant want it. Cannot have it yet. We would have forced out for Greg, finished off as well. X2 gonna scoop up that Wisdom Rune, maybe checking with the team if they want to get it on a support. It looks like that'll be the plan. Love to see that. A Philosophy Stone in the backpack on Jakiro. Maybe just using it while dead at this point. I was like trying to get that timer done as fast as possible, though, for that bonus gold, as they're gonna find Praetor down here. Has 2 lives, but who can help? All 5 of Savoury Characters surrounding this Wraith King. Stun up, Skeleton's out, but Skeleton's gone just as quickly. Rest of the team is getting the Tormentor. That means the Wraith King will fall. Continuing to find these pickoffs. Ophelia throwing the tip over to Benj. That's Benj finding that kill with the scouting. This support Ricky, Blink Dagger ready to go, has the smoke screen as well, helping mitigate what they can do with their Force Staffs to get allies out of there. Both supports with their own Force Staffs can still save themselves. But that blind, in addition to the silence on the smoke screen, ends up becoming a big problem for this Wraith King and Chaos Knight. We're going to get Rupture in onto X2, as always. Ben's jumping forward as well, Force Staff away. EKB used by 4 beats. Don't get much tower damage here. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication between Savoury Characters whether or not they're ready to go up to this high ground. Sure, they would still like to get the Aegis. It has spawned now, but they've got all their waves pushed in. And they've got a decent lead, so they can be pretty confident to try to go up this high ground, but it becomes a lot easier if they go pick up that Aegis. It's like Benj going over to get this wave pushing in, probably also going to go poke the head in the Roshan pit and see that, yes, indeed, the big man is back. Got the S and Y finish on Bloodseeker as well, so pretty difficult to lock this guy down. Assault Kuros on the Dawnbreaker, amp up that physical damage for her and the Bloodseeker and the Ricky at this point. And yeah, Ophelia showing up to the Roche fight. Shiva's Guard done, looking at the Aggies next, perhaps. Uranium throws out the Slacks line, hearing the Roshan roar. 5reg 5ive not going to be able to contest this one. It'll be another easy pickup for the Radiant side. Get another Aegis for 4 beats, get a banner. Pepperboy will be the one to carry that for now. Perhaps going to pass it over to the Ricky. Has an Aeon Disc on the Ricky, so really just looking to be annoying with this hero. Get into the fights, get them started, get things scouted out, and then sneak away the Aeon Disc plus the Blink Dagger. And with the confidence of the Aegis, it's going to be Savoury Characters setting their eyes on the top tier 3 and Barracks. See what 5reg 5ive can do to contest this. Gonna get the start onto Ophelia, but has the recurring stuns from that Split Earth. Now they get more control, but Pepperboy looking to connect in. Ophelia does eventually go down to the crits, though. He'll be the first to fall, but 4 beats is in, and this guy looks impossible to deal with. Wraith King already dead once, X2 falling as well. Praetor back up, has the BKB, throws out the stun. Ursi looking to find a Winter's Curse, perhaps it's already been used, though. Did find Benji here, and 4 Fates is going to get cleaned up as well, so it's actually looking like a pretty good fight for 5reg 5ive. They get the defense. Savoury Characters, the only one to survive, is the one with the Aegis. So unable to find that fight that they were looking for, getting perhaps a bit too far up into the high ground, and nice high ground defense for 5reg 5ive. Pretty tough into this Winter Wyvern. It's a hero that we've seen Savoury Characters use as a really good high ground defender. Which has such long range with their damage, and then always the threat of that Winter's Curse coming through to really disrupt the team fights and swing things around. Yeah, that's a pretty big dive back in the other direction. 5reg 5ive will need a few more of those. That Wisdom Rune is going to help things out. Snatching that up for themselves on Uranium Heart. And they're going to look to bring this base defense fight into a tier 2 tower. Bloodright's going to clean up most of those creeps. The skeleton's going to get back up and get some damage in, but those get blown up by the Split Earth. And it looks like 5reg 5ive respect the respawns. They've still got the potential for another fight with this Aegis. 2.5 minutes on it. Probably feeling a little scared after losing that high ground fight. A little more risky, so they're going to play it safe, get some space on the map, get their Tormentor, gives that to Ophelia. Oh, so that wasn't their recurring Split Earth. That was just how big the Split Earth is when you have Bloodstone. Oh, and also the Defilement, that's right. Gaining the AoE based on the int. Yeah, that's quite a bit. I'd like to see how... That last Split Earth with the Shard now is going to be giant. Ophelia is feeling pretty confident, jumps in with the Shiva's Guard. Praetor throws out the Wraith Fire Blast, but slowed up too much by the Shivas. Not going to be able to give chase. We saw that BKB from Praetor in the last fight off of the respawn. I think that was a big part of how 5reg 5ive turned that fight around. BKB on Uranium Heart as well, yeah. It's the BKB timings, plus this pipe, and the Shivas helping mitigate what the Leshrac can do. Got Glimmer Cape and Blink Dagger done on the Winter Wyvern. Percy finding a fair bit of farm here, getting out ahead of the Riki, who's decently farmed for a support as well. Aviana's Feather on bench. Looks like they're not going to look to make a play with this Aegis. Only 40 seconds to go on it. Circle comes out from Ophelia. They know that 5reg 5ive's playing down in this area. They're going to get things pushing out, and that's going to force 5reg 5ive to make a bit of a response. Uranium Heart coming in and get the illusions, helping to keep the wave pushed out. Warbeat's up on the high ground, getting a bit controlled up, has the BKB available. Are they going to be able to get it off? Getting very low. That's going to be the... Okay, they do use the Aegis, so they get that use out of it, but this is pretty tricky to get out of here. Immediately stunned up, doesn't get the BKB off, now has it. Able to back away, has the Blood Mist, and will be okay. They do something with that Aegis. I don't know how much that accomplished. I think they did get a decent bit of damage on this tower from Ophelia. And that Aegis was going to expire anyway, so even if you only got a little tower damage on it, that's a decent way to get something from it. Savoury Characters still looking to... really like to finish off this tier 3 tower top. I'd like to see them get a little kind of dual push going. I think that's going to be their better opportunity to get a good favorable fight on the high ground. Especially when you have Pepperboy with Solar Guardians. Now they're spotting Praetor out, farming the wave. It looks like they're going to be able to bring down the Wraith King once. Rupture out on X2 again means it's not going to be fun for anybody who wants to try to help out Praetor. Does have the Nullifier available now, as Benj continuing to prevent the rest of 5reg 5ive from getting out here to help the Wraith King. Controlled up and brought down. Hang out in Undeath for a little bit longer, but now this is the opening. No buyback available on the Wraith King. And they're going to get to work trying to push into this tower. I think even with the Wraith King dead, it's a little tricky to be able to just do a straight 5v4 push. Warbeats is going to go in, has the BKB available, is going to try to turn things around on them, gets the blood right down, everybody able to escape out of it. Ophelia getting in, now gets pulled back though. Does have the Nihilism available if she needs to escape. Fortify comes out, they're trying to finish off this tower. Pepperboy getting a big chunk of damage taken out, and now they have the control out onto Benj. It's going to be the Riki that goes down. We're still not quite getting brought down. Uranium Heart in for more. Pepperboy's there. Warbeat's back in. has the refresh for a second rupture. Uranium Heart getting brought low and getting punched back by 4beats. X2 now caught up in the middle of all of them. Buyback from the Chaos Knight. Big Winter's Curse, turning things around onto Pepperboy, but they're still able to finish it off. That damage from Ophelia does not care if she's controlled by the Winter's Curse. Now gets pulled back by the Reality Rift. And the ult from Uranium Heart means there's all kinds of illusions out, but Ophelia has the Nihilism, and is going to step forward, get the control, try to finish off Greg, goes into the Yule Scepter, X2 escaping over the trees, stun up again, the split earths keep coming, Pepperboy rolling through, keeping them controlled. They're stunned here for so long, they're so tanky, it takes so long to bring them down, but they never have a chance. Praetor back up, TP's in, but immediately into another split earth. They cannot get a break. Just stun after stun after stun from Savoury Characters, and Praetor's going to go down the first time. Slowed up, Ursi is stepping in, they have the control on Ophelia, the Skeleton's trying to connect in, Split Earth out again, and Praetor's going to fall for a second time. Pepperboy turning around over to Ursi, gonna chase up onto the high ground, swings around with the Starbreaker, and finishes off the Wyvern. Immediate buyback from Wyvern, but it's just the two supports left standing. Buybacks used by the two cores, and Praetor not with quite enough gold. Greg gets a nice 2-hero stun, but Ophelia's in on the back line and just absolutely melting this Jakiro. No buyback available for the supports at this point either. Ophelia gives the high five, and this is going to be Savoury Characters picking up their first win of the WLDL 2025 season. GGWP is called by Uranium Heart. Savoury Characters finish it out with a beautiful high ground push to take game number 1. That is exactly how Savoury Characters wanted to get this long day of Dota started for themselves. Picking up the win in a game that started off pretty back and forth, but able to clean things up and get the big pushes going. Very well played by them. MVP, I gotta give it to 4beats. This was a beautiful showing of how to play the Bloodseeker in the current meta. This refresher at the end for the BKB and Rupture was gross. Really great punish on the Timbersaw. It was so hard for X2 to get involved because of these constant Ruptures coming out by 4beats. You needed to see like a Lincoln Sphere and a Lotus starting to show up on some of these heroes for 5reg 5ive to try to help X2 out with those Ruptures. Support of the game, I gotta give it to Benj. This Riki, I had my doubts. I was questioning why it wasn't a Bounty Hunter. But the Riki really slotted into this draft well. Did the scouting work that a Bounty Hunter does, and those smoke screens I feel like were pretty deceptively effective. It mitigates the damage from Praetor and Uranium Heart, prevents the escape from the supports, and X2. All in all, well-rounded draft from Savoury Characters, and quite well executed. Take a little break, and then we'll be back for game number 2 between Savoury Characters and 5reg 5ive. We will catch you soon. Alright, we are back for game number 2 between Savoury Characters and 5reg 5ive. Savoury Characters took game number 1 in a back and forth that eventually tipped towards their side. Got things rolling with some good tempo out of a Bloodseeker-centric draft. And you immediately see that getting banned out by 5reg 5ive. Ophelia's Leshrac also was a huge part of that. Just stun after stun from the Aghanim Shard, Earth Splitter, or Split Earth, not Earth Splitter, that's the other spell. I love Dota spell names. They're also going to ban out that Lich again and take away Ophelia's Lina. That does leave the Queen of Pain in the pool, which was banned out last time. Savoury Characters, they're going to take away the Dark Willow and Clockwork again, and they'll take out the Nyx Assassin to set themselves up for that first phase. Dawnbreaker. Saw a great Dawnbreaker performance out of Pepperboy last game. They're going to go right back to that. Keep
10 seconds to go.
Keep up with the same kind of strategy, even if they're going to be playing with different cores this time around.
5 seconds.
See if they get another Invis hero like the Riki to pair it with. Maybe the Bounty Hunter as well. The Silencer is the other hero we talked about last draft as a potential option. They are going to take that as the answer to the Dawnbreaker. That is quite a good tool for preventing the Dawnbreaker from getting involved in the fights the way she wants to. So I like seeing that getting picked up by 5reg 5ive.
Dyer's ban.
Zeus going to get banned out here in the second phase for Savoury Characters. Perhaps trying to mitigate some of the kind of responses to the global presence of the Dawnbreaker. Though I think with the Silencer, you don't want to focus too hard on trying to counter a Dawnbreaker in the draft. You've already got a good answer for it. And so now you more want to kind of draft around what you need to play around the Silencer. Looking for more control. I mean, the kind of cores that they had last game with the Chaos Knight and Wraith King, both of them had good stuns, so that kind of makes up for the lack of hard disable in the Silencer's kit. The Legion Commander banned out by Savoury Characters after the Zeus, and then the Juggernaut taken away by 5reg 5ive. Legion Commander definitely pretty solid hero right now. Can be a bit of a problem for the Dawnbreaker and perhaps a problem for some of the other heroes Savoury Characters are looking at picking up. I'm curious if that Zeus ban is also protecting something that they are thinking about drafting for Ophelia's mid lane. Curious to see what that ends up looking like for them. 5reg 5ive's move to open up this stage of the draft. Probably looking to just grab a support to complement the Silencer. You could double down on, like, some of the annoying, like, DOT and really force Savoury Characters to build a lot of dispels. With, like, an Ogre or a Venomancer. Ogre, I think, would be pretty good, because that gives you a stun to complement Silencer's kit, and it means that you're just constantly going to have this burn damage on you. They're going to go for the Shadow Shaman, so less of the annoying burn, but definitely bringing the control. Does leave your support duo a bit squishy. Assuming this is a support Silencer, we could see this go into a core roll.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I like that as a compliment. Means you have to be careful if Savoury Characters go for a lot of like backline dive. They can't go back to the Bloodseeker, but if they go for something similar, it could be troublesome. A Slark could be pretty good. Slark could be sketchy into the control of the Shadow Shaman. They're going to grab a Tiny. This is a bit of a flex hero for them, because I know Benj will play it support, and I know Ophelia will play it mid. So I think this is like... I feel like when OG really set the flex drafting meta in like TI 9, it was like Tiny and Invoker were the big ones. It was like those two heroes, you don't know which one's going to be mid, which one's going to be pause for. So this guy is the original flex hero in my eyes, or one of them. And I like seeing it come out for Savoury Characters. And they're going to go back to their Rubik. It was a pretty good performance from 4fates on the Rubik last game. So that one slots in nicely. Got great stuff to steal. A little tricky into the silencer. But anything you get from Shadow Shaman is nice. They will respond with the Lifestealer, have something kind of similar to the Timbersaw pickup. Good for chunking through that Dawnbreaker, and the Tiny. And then also just going to be solid into the control of these two supports. Night Stalker, so they're going to go the route of hunting down the enemy supports. Mostly the Rubik, the Tiny. The Tiny, if it's a support, is also not a bad target for the Night Stalker. But he'll be trying to get up in the middle of things.
10 seconds to go.
I'm trying to think, the interactions between Night Stalker and Dawnbreaker, I don't think there's anything too troublesome. I'm going to really try to pay attention to see if the Dawnbreaker or the Dawnbreaker innate triggers when the Night Stalker ult ends. I think it does. But I've been curious about that for a while. Razor, this is a classic Savoury Characters pickup. Most often we see it on 4 beats in the carry role. So that's where I expect it to go. Savoury Characters did take first pick for this draft, so they actually liked getting that instead of trying to get that, like, final, almost potentially cheesy hero for Ophelia. I think they are leaving Ophelia's pick for last year. I think it's possible that she goes back to play the Tiny, but I think they want Benj on this. I think is going to be the plan. And then you maybe lane the Tiny with the Razor and the Rubik with the Dawnbreaker just to get your ranged melee matchups set nicely, but I think there's a good chance they just stick the Tiny in the off lane anyway, just for like comfort of what lanes they play.
Radiant's ban.
Viper taken out, that gets the response of the Spectre ban, 5reg 5ive being concerned that the break from the Viper Strike is being taken away to set up a Spectre pick. I know that Savoury would pick Spectre in this draft, because like I said, I'm pretty confident this is going to be Pepperboy on the Dawnbreaker, 4 beats on the Razor. There's a world where you put the Razor mid, and it looks like that's kind of what they're expecting, which is interesting, because they ban out 2 carry heroes. There is some flex potential. We've seen 4 beats play in the mid lane before, I believe. And I know Ophelia plays a lot of carry outside of Savoury Characters. But I think it's still just going to be straightforward. You put 4 beats on the Razor in the safe lane, and you're looking to pick an Ophelia hero. So I don't love those last 2 bans from 5reg 5ive. Pudge will be the final ban. So yeah, they're looking to protect a mid lane pick here. So maybe just trying to protect a mid Tiny, but I still think it's going to be a support Tiny.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
What if Savoury Characters want to round this draft out with? If it is... And the Queen of Pain is still in the draft. I could see them going for that. You kind of need something that can help you. I guess the Razor is kind of there to help you deal with the Lifestealer already. But, oh, this is... Okay, I think they're... This could still go either way, and I think they're doing that on purpose. I really want this to be an Ophelia Vengeful Spirit, and I think that's what they're doing. I think they want it to look like the Tiny is mid. I think they want to bait 5reg 5ive into picking a Tiny counter in the lane for the mid lane, and then they're going to put the Vengeful. They pick up the Sand King. which I think will be mid lane. Yeah, it is Ophelia on the Vengeful Spirit. Yep. And yeah, I think Sand King is a pretty good answer if you are unsure of where the Tiny and Venge are going to go. I feel like that matchup is decent both ways. We got really good hats here. Really good hats across the board. I really like that Shadow Shaman set. Uranium Heart is flickering between the two facets, which is making his Lifestealer freak out. What else we got? And this Tiny set's real good. This is a classic. Four Fates Rubik is still just as good. Razor set's pretty sick with the Arcana. I like that setup a lot. And we got the Venge Arcana on Ophelia as well. I gotta give the hats to Savoury Characters. It's close. It's real close. The Silencer looks great. It's not like everybody. I don't love this Sand King set. I think that's what kind of makes the difference for me. I really like all of these sets. Ophelia has a similar Venge Arcana setup to what I use. I think it's the same hair. So that also wins them some points. As for... Okay, so I was right about how they were playing the draft on the side of Savoury Characters. Do I actually like this mid-Vengeful Spirit, though? I like the idea of it. I would love to see it succeed. Do I actually think it is going to put them in position to win this game? I'm less sure. I think it's a good pairing for the Razor. I think it gives you some... The swap gives you a little debuff immunity, piercing, disable, or not really disable, but reposition. We got Gregstrom, Sand Greg, Breaks, Night Stock, and Shadow Shaman. Oh man, that's good.
30 seconds to showtime.
Regstrom, that must be the Silencer? Yeah. I forget Silencer's real, like, proper name.
And they're off.
Bounty Rune's gonna get split either way once again. Both sides just moving into the enemy jungle. Everything as expected. So yeah, it's gonna be... Yep, that's exactly what I thought. It's Bench on the Tiny laning with the Pepperblade Dawnbreaker, not swapping up the lanes for the melee ranged pairings. 4 Beats and 4 Fates laning together again. Got immediate static link from 4 Beats. But does have the Glaives of Wisdom level 1 on Ursi, so that makes it a little scary to play, to just like take a straight up fight with these guys. It's gonna be hard for Rubik to get favorable trades. Because you're gonna get that introduction coming out from the Glaives. Int reduction, not a introduction. We got another weird mid matchup. Last game it was the Wraith King that was weird. This time it's the Vengeful Spirit that's weird. And the Sand King has been a little out of meta from the mid lane ever since they kind of adjusted his kit, especially with the Ags. I hope we get to see that though, because I think the new Ags can be really strong too. And has the Sand Shroud one. So a little slower farming typically, but yeah, a lot stronger in the lane. And a lot bigger for fights. Starbreaker forward from Pepper Boy, guns up Greg into the avalanche. Benj wants to finish this off, has the blood grenade throughout the tree, but it's not going to be quite enough, and Greg's going to be able to tango up, so no first blood yet. Up in the top lane, getting very low, Ursi, but able to dodge away, now trying to turn it around, has the curse. Getting the Glaives hits in, but not going to be able to chase, sitting on such low health. X2 did go, it opt for the Blinding Void. I feel like we've been seeing less of lately. It's going to be hard to see exactly how that takes effect with the vision reduction. But it should be fun. Still mixing it up down here in the bot lane. Uranium Heart. Taking chunks out of these two strength heroes. I mean, this is a buffet for this lifestealer, even if, like, there's not really any flesh on these. Like, I don't know what Dawnbreaker is made out of, but it seems like she's made out of metal, and then you've got tiny as rocks. So this is not a very good buffet for Uranium Heart's lifestealer, but it is two strength heroes, so still gets to enjoy it in that regard. Ophelia is definitely getting the better of this mid lane so far. 18-9 to 15-0 on the last hits. And so I briefly distracted trying to think about things to say about the draft, and as is tradition, we not see blood. My goal for today, and
Dive's mid towers haven't.
Come on, guys. Okay, we definitely have to go back and watch some of these early fights later. This was going so well. What happened? Just standing in the sandstorm, and then gets stunned and clicked on. Sure. That is tough for Ophelia. Had the big last hits lead, but now is only like half a level behind. Yeah, my goal for today is to see one first blood. Not counting if I do digging through some replays between games. Falcon Blade finished for 4v Razor. Courier does get launched. He's going to immediately look to get a static link going. A pretty good link. Silence up from X2, but that's not going to stop the link. That means this Night Stalker really isn't hitting X2 for much, or isn't hitting 4-beats for much. 4-beats, though, taking quite a bit of damage and steps back up, and X2 gets the Void. 4-beats finishes off Ursi. But 5reg 5ive going to be pretty happy with that trade. Going core, killing core, in trade for support, killing support. You get a rotation down here from Ophelia, maybe just looking to steal the bounty rune. I feel like Ophelia should have walked all the way down here. Obviously she doesn't know that there's no vision, but there's no vision for the Dire. Or for the Radiant, I mean. Actually, the only ward on the map is this one. For Radiant, right? Yeah, I feel like they could have gotten a kill on Uranium Heart if Ophelia made that rotation down. Up top, that's another kill as 4-fates goes down, and 4-beats is going to be in trouble. The rotation with the haste rune from Freighter gets great use of that first epicenter and brings down the enemy carry.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
This game off to a good start now for 5reg 5ive. And some good early kills. Getting, yeah, Praetor is huge already on this Sand King. I mean, not huge, but like, off to a very good start with those kills. One up from Ophelia. Knows that the epicenter isn't on the deck, but still kind of has to be careful with this Burrow Strike in play. I'm probably having a little more trouble in this lane compared to last game. We've also got Wisdom Runes up. It looks like Benj is going to scooch on over, pick this one up real quick. Doesn't look like we'll have any cheeky steals or anything yet. Though 5reg 5ive aren't immediately going for theirs, so there could still be a possibility of 4 Fates or somebody else sneaking over here. But a tough start for 4 beats.
Radiant's top tower's in bad
Tricky to
shape.
get in there for last hits without just getting glaive after glaive after glaive thrown into your skull. And already 3 stolen in for Ursi is pretty nice. And the Void out from X2 with 2 levels up on the Razor. This is scary for 4 beats. X2 is gonna just run this Razor down. Finishes it off with 1 more Void, and nothing that 4 Fates can do to save their Razor. Raider making the rotation down to bot. Pepperboy, though, is going to get in with Celestial Hammer to finish it off, but Greg is right there with the Shackle, and they're going to get the return kill on Pepperboy. Ophelia is in the area, so maybe looking to make a return kill happen here. They're pretty backed up under their tower, under the safety of the Sandstorm. So they're not going to... not going to be able to find anything else for themselves down here. Ophelia correctly identifying this. No sentry available on the bench for the moment. Top Ursi going to steal a couple bounty runes. This is a little scary for 4 beats after that last death. I worry that X2 can kind of just do it again. Ophelia's going to make a rotation up here, potentially, though. Wants to try to steal some runes. Or pick up some runes, but is going to see that they've been stolen. Ursi is now going to finally make their way over to the Wisdom Rune, grab that for the Radiant side, so those both go to their respective teams. As Bench steps out of the lane, they are going to look to get aggressive over here towards Pepperboy. Shackle out. Lots of control in this lane. Uranium Heart looking to stay on top of Pepperboy. Last of their mana used to get that Celestial Hammer away. Does have the Soul Ring if they want to get in here with another spell. Pops the Wand as well. So very much holding their ground. Vision comes out from Dawnbreaker. They will look over towards Praetor, but I don't know if they have anything. Praetor's going to threaten with the Sandstorm Epicenter. Now we get the swap out onto Ursi. A little awkward into the river. Doesn't immediately have the follow-up. There's the stun. Bench coming in. Pepperboy now looking to connect with the Solar Guardian, and they're going to find the kill on Ursi. Can they turn it into one on Praetor? Pepperboy's so low on health. Praetor just looking to Burrow Strike away. X2 coming in, but Ophelia finishes it off. X2 going to try to get their return kill with the ult on the Night Stalker. Going to chunk down and bring down Ophelia. Pepperboy going back in, so low on health though. X2 just needs damage and will get one last click in. Benj does get the toss out and able to get the return kill on X2. Greg now going to rotate over here as well. Both supports still in the area. Stolen Void from 4 Fates. Get the control, they get the Avalanche, toss up in the air. And gets out, but not enough. Is able to escape for the moment. Praetor wants revenge for Greg, wants to bring down 4 Fates, but 4 Fates has the Stolen Void still, and that's going to be enough to get out of range of the potential Burrow Strike. Nice little fight for Savoury Characters. They do lose 2 cores for that, but they get 2 cores back of their own. We also did not get to see if Dark Ascension triggers Dawnbreaker's passive, because Dawnbreaker was dead when it ended, which makes me sad. So hopefully we'll get another Dark Ascension in this daytime. Which I think we will. Only 70 seconds to go. You can maybe even get a couple in. The timing works out.
mid-tower won't last much longer.
See, Ophelia working on the Vlads, planning to go that into the Ags. I like that build on the core Venge. Praetor is going to find Benj stealing a bounty rune over here. Avalanche is going to give Benj some space, and yeah, just with the Burrow Strike already used, no means to continue chasing the Tiny. Global Silence used up top. Ophelia is going to find the kill on Ursi through the Global Silence, so already getting pretty good damage in here from the core Venge. Wraithband, Null Talisman, good source of stats, and now they're going to immediately look to make something happen mid. TP in, swap back onto Praetor, have the vision, Burrow Strike through them, going to try to get the Epicenter off, but denied. Benj gives one more slap from that Coral Tree. X2 chasing forward, wants the revenge kill, but it's just going to end up going down themselves. And the voice lines come out from Savoury Characters as they now take the lead 10-8. Net worth swinging back in their favor, and they're going to start looking in towards some of these towers. This is great for getting pressure off of 4 beats as well, the way that they're making these fights happen around the map. It was interesting. Break changing their mind about the shackle. They do bring Praetor down here, so they want to try to find a kill on Pepperboy. Benj is going to be in the area too, though. We're going to have trouble with Benj and Venge in this game. Hopefully, I will try to make it clear which one I'm talking about.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Somebody denied something up here. Don't know what it was. Oh, it was a tower. Ursi denied the top tower out from 4 fates, or 4 beats, I think. The Blade Mail been worked on by Pepperboy. Uranium Heart just planning to go that Radiance. Benj is well on the way to this Blink. Having quite a good start on the Tiny. Toss back on Greg into the Starbreaker. Absolutely beautiful. Hammer hit comes down and able to continue it. Here comes X2, though, once again looking to avenge the teammates. Solar Guardian is going to get dodged out. Lots of flying movement elsewhere on the map. 4 Fates finds a kill on Ursi. Avalanche toss again. They bring down Uranium Heart. Ursi does get a revenge kill on Ophelia as the fights are continuing on both sides of the map. What the hell is going on? X2 is still fine down here, as is Benj. The night does end. They do get the vision, but the vision's not going to help them get Benj out of there. Now we go into natural nighttime, and Greg has the shackles available, holding Pepperboy in place. Uranium Heart going to TP back in here. Maybe look to get a punish, but I think Pepperboy is going to have enough space to get away. Ilya's going to rotate down here off of the respawn. Once again, I mean, they were fighting... Oh, swap back onto Uranium Heart. Hold that thought. But does have the Rage. So is going to be able to step away. Greg throws out the Shackles. 4 Fate stepping up. Would love to steal a spell from that Shadow Shaman. It is going to be the Stolen Shackles, and that's going to be the death of the Shadow Shaman. They've got pretty good tools to make sure the Cluster Cluck isn't too effective here with foul play. And after taking that tower, they're going to smoke up. They want to try to find a big kill on Uranium Heart here. The scan from Radiant does spot out this smoke. And they're going to break on the tower. They find anything here. They'll get a deep ward down. They do find Ursi. Toss back into the Shackle from 4 Fates, and that is going to be a nice little pick-off on the support. Well, they find Praetor farming up here as well. They have the Dust down, going to Burrow Strike away. Benj going to get the toss forward on the Dawnbreaker. Starbreaker and Avalanche, all of the control once again. X2 is going to go in. Shackles from Greg. Want to get the punish on the Praetor. They have the Dark Ascension. The X2 falling low immediately. The damage coming out from 4 beats, and the Night Stalker is going to be the one that goes down. Stolen Dark Ascension? Sure? Does that... I guess you get flying movement, and you can get the vision? It's such a funny spell to steal, and then use. They'll... Oh, Praetor. Oh, no. In a bit of trouble, but it looks like they don't have detection available for the moment. Yeah, they don't have any detection on any hero, so Praetor does get to just chill here. Benge, though, blink under the tower, and Ursi gets deleted. Savoury Characters just sitting around this mid lane, continuing to keep the pressure up. In good space for 4beats, who's working on the BKB. Nice early BKB. That's going to make this Razor pretty hard to deal with in these fights at this stage. I really want to try to find Praetor here. That Dust isn't quite connecting. Savoury Characters kind of just like foot on the throat here, keeping all the waves pushed in for the most part. X2 starting to get this pushed back the other way. We're being pretty methodical here. They try to choke out the map, bring down these tier 2 towers. Looks like now they're going to focus up on getting the bottom tier 2. And it'll get pushed back out a little bit. Praetor looking to respond, but Benge is already in here on the backside. Does have the Dust, so they'll have Vision of Praetor. X2's in, they get the Global Silence. Greg getting the control, and X2 immediately onto Benge. This is a good start of the fight for 5reg 5ive. They set up onto Pepperboy as well. 4beats though, there's that BKB reveal. Big epicenter, but they have good magic resist here. Now Pepperboy is going to connect, healing them up. X2 is going to get in on top of Ophelia. Pepperboy brings down Praetor, and 4beats finishes off Ursi. They do get the turnaround onto 4beats. As, why does that say the Dire killed 4beats? X2 looking to bring down 4fates, but doesn't have detection for the Glimmer Cape and doesn't feel they have enough health to continue facing. My, like...
Bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
4beats is on the Dire. How did the Dire kill 4beats? What did... Oh, quick. Yeah. Like, it had to be the tower finished him off, and for some reason it called it... I remember that being a bug. I feel like I hadn't seen that in a while. But I guess that is still a thing, that sometimes a tower kill will be attributed to the wrong team. Obviously, it didn't actually, like, count as a deny. 1364 damage by the Radiant. Oh, he just took so much tower damage in this fight. Oh, Praetor getting spotted out again. Gets the Burrow Strike away. Feels the Arcane Curse. That's a nice one to have. Both for being annoying and dealing damage in fights, and for farming up.
Thank you, you precious weak thing.
I did see the Blink Dagger on X2 in that last fight, I believe, working on a BKB for the Night Stalker. Got Vlad's and almost all of an Ags for Ophelia, so gonna have a second life on their mid laner soon. Praetor once again gonna be able to Burrow Strike away, get out of danger. As Savoury Characters still trying to find this mid tower.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. The Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
See Dust on like everybody now.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
I guess the supports plus Ophelia. That's what they're looking for. Benj giving some grief to Uranium Heart as they go through. Oh, the toss up to interrupt it. This is so cruel. And now the Static Link. Uranium Heart's going to be forced to try to turn and fight. With the Static Link already out, just going to be reduced to absolutely no damage, and Fortbeats finishes off the Lifestealer. Now, looks like into the Roshan pit they shall go. And the gold for picking this up should also secure the Vengeful Spirit Ags, which means they're going to be able to go into a team fight with 2 heroes having 2 lives. It's going to be troublesome for the side of 5reg 5ive, who are trying to claw their way back into this game. Savoury Characters are building up this early lead-in. Looks like this will largely be uncontested. Pepperboy just keeping one of the lanes pushed out in the meantime, ready to Solar Guardian in if needed. Oh, this feels so familiar from last game. Savoury Characters take a Roche, Uranium Heart pushing out the wave, and I think, oh, is even doing some warding of their own. Yeah, this time, oh, Pepperboy trying to chase down Ursi, but it's a nice Force Staff to the low ground there. Yeah, Uranium Heart this time reads the room when the Roche dies and backs away to safety. Savoury Characters, though, still plenty of time to fight with this Aegis. Pretty low bottom tower here. They want to finish what they started in that last fight.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
They've got the Dark Ascension available. They've got pretty much everything. The Global's going to come out to help protect Uranium Heart from the Benj Pepperboy combo. Uranium Heart tips Ursi for giving them the help with the Global Silence.
Radiant's bottom tower's
Looks like this tower will finally be falling. So it is the Ags finished on Venge. Yasha working on the Sanjin Yasha for Razor. Four Fates with Blink Dagger, Glimmer Cape. Got a lot of good initiation. These 2 Blink supports. Plus the swap and the Solar Guardian. Savoury Characters have a really good draft and builds for getting in and punishing heroes that they're able to catch. Dust out forces Praetor to Burrow Strike away. Savoury Character is going to start tripping down this middle tower. Yeah, still choking the map. X2 getting a nice D-ward over here. Sanjin Yasha finished on Dawnbreaker, going right for that Basher before a BKB. Maybe thinking about picking up the Mithril Hammer and then deciding which one he'd rather go for after. We have the Radiance and Yasha finished on Uranium Heart, so this Lifestealer is getting decent farm. Right there with Ophelia, and there's X2 going to use the Dark Ascension, and 5reg 5ive able to find a nice little pickup on Benj. Those are the kind of pick-off kills they need if they want to kind of slow down the tempo of Savoury Characters in this draft. And they're going to look for more. X2 blinks forward, Global Silence out, Praetor on top of the Rubik. Pepperboy coming in and saving Ophelia, healing up the swap back on X2. They're going to finish it off. Praetor does find the kill with the help of Ursi. Now 4 beats is in as well. Nice Hex from Greg. Pepperboy on top of him, though. Shackle in from Ophelia. Ursi gets brought down. Praetor escaping up to the high ground. Static Link is out, but no way to stop the TP away, so Praetor able to escape. Greg getting away with the foul play for now. No mana for a Celestial Hammer for the moment, but the Solaring is coming up. Oh, and they have control of the outpost, and Benj is right there with an Avalanche. They finish off Greg as well. And now, with Aegis still in hand on 4 beats, they are going to focus down this middle tower. Ophelia, no fear of tanking the tower. Second life ready to go. Maybe should be a little higher on health. Praetor is going to get that kill, but was it just a bait? X2 in on top as well. 4 beats getting low. Does still have the Aegis and the Glimmer Cape able to survive for now. Swap back from the second life on Ophelia with that illusion. Praetor does go down. Ben just picked up in the back line by Ursi though. And now 4 beats off of the respawn of the Aegis, just going to be forced to TP away X2. Oh, had the Void, but does not spot the Razor in time. Uranium Heart chasing forward onto Pepperboy up here. Pepperboy a little low on mana. Does use the Soul Ring to get a Celestial Hammer, but the slows are there. Blade Mail is not going to bother Uranium Heart too much. Dawnbreaker is fast with the phase boots, but Uranium Heart is right there on top, and X2 is in with the Void. Four Fates comes in with the lift up. Dark Ascension gonna get used by X2. They still haven't quite found this kill on Pepperboy. Four Fates running interference. There's the blink forward from X2. Finally, they finish off the Dawnbreaker. X2 gonna be able to fly up to a safe spot and TP away. Greg looking to get some deep vision in. Ophelia, I think just farming, doesn't have the vision to know that Greg is there. So some nice pickups for 5reg 5ive. Yeah, pulling this back into their favor. Still very close. I mean, this Lifestealer is going to get to be a pretty big problem, I think. I think the Lifestealer is kind of the ultimate carry in this game, compared to the side of Savoury Characters. I think Razor tends to fall off a bit more in the later game. But you'll also have Venge coming online as more of a carry as the game goes on. Has the Dragonlance done, so extra attack range. Looking towards the full Hurricane Pike, it looks like. Also looking at a Phylactery. That's a fun build to get even more damage on the stun. It's like 4 Fates and 4 Beats trying to hunt down Praetor, but able to Burrow Strike up to the high ground. No Wisdom Rune to steal here. We'll grab the Watcher while they're here and probably pick up these Ancients.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Now, with the Aegis having been used, things have been a little bit slower, but Ophelia making their way over to the mid lane, going to spot Uranium Heart. Stun has the swap to interrupt the Rage TP, and now getting static linked up. And yeah, this is going to be Uranium Heart dead. Venge connecting in as well to help out with it. That's the danger. That's why one of the things I liked about this Venge pick into the Lifestealer is that Rage interrupting, again, not disable, but interrupt, means you can't just get that free TP away. And they're going to chain that into bringing down the mid-tier 2 tower that they've been taking chunks out of for a while. Pick up this outpost again. See, we do have BKB. That's a fresh BKB, right? Yeah. BKB finished on X2, looking at the Agnum Shard next, gives you a little extra option for farm, kind of a mini Midas, and also a way to kind of save yourself if you can find a creep to eat. I wonder if we will ever get a funky interaction where like Uranium Heart's infested into a creep, and the next 2 eats that creep. I think that's unlikely. And I'm not sure how that actually interacts, as Pepperboy is going to get controlled up a little bit here. Hex out from Greg, Curse from Ursi. Ursi's Cursey on Pepperboy, but especially with the Sanjin Yacha, that helps quite a bit for getting that annoying DOT off of you. Venge gonna find an Arcane Rune, going to leave that for the Rubik. Potentially we'll get to see some fun Rubik shenanigans here during this Arcane Rune. Praetor doing a good job keeping these waves pushed out. We are going to get a small smoke. Pepperboy will show. Ursi gets the curse down, and the avalanche toss up. They interrupted the force staff, so there's no way to get up to the high ground. Nice catch by Savoury Characters. And they're going to look for more. Swap back onto the Night Stalker, stunned up at the edge of the high ground. TP's coming in, but they're not going to be there in time. It's a long TP from Praetor, and X2 goes down. Burrow strike away, but the Stolen Shackle is there, and link up. Praetor getting hexed up and getting brought low. The Epicenter with the Bloodstone is there, and Uranium Heart is in. Now in a little bit of trouble. 4beats taking a lot of damage from that tower. Pepperboy healing everybody up with the Solar Guardian. Ophelia in the middle of everything is going to die the first time, trying to finish off Greg. Swap back means she will be able to secure the kill. 4 Fates and Benj, though, on the back lines, both getting found by Uranium Heart and Praetor as they chase out of the base and bring them down. It's a great fight for 5reg 5ive, exactly what they needed here. Ends up being a 3 for 4, but a 3k gold gain for them.
Sorry, that was the wrong answer.
All of the voice lines coming out from both sides. And 5reg 5ive, they're going to immediately push this up the mid lane. Ophelia
Dire's mid towers having
finds the kill on Ursi.
This
Just
is a
with
good
the
opportunity
swap,
to learn.
right clicks, stun, full kill on Silencer. Nearly loses the illusion, but does not. X2 is going to farm that illusion. Almost would have been interesting to keep that illusion alive, to force Ophelia to respawn there. I don't know if you'd have enough from just X2. If Greg could have connected, I think that could have been spicy. It's like Savoury characters will go back to pick up their Tormentor, see what shard they're going to get here. It's the Rubik Shard. Nice little save option for telekinesis. Also activates the shard effect of any stolen spells. The Serpent Wards on the Shackles are pretty nice. If that works, it might count it as you have it. I'm guessing it'll count it as you having the same level Serpent Wards as Shadow Shaman. Also increases the cast range, which is nice. Rubik loves cast range. I think technically you get the Epicenter pulses if you steal Epicenter. I'm not sure that we'll see that one. Infest, probably not going to see a lot of that Infest. And this one you could already steal because you can steal Hunter in the night now. Once Night Stalker has his shard. That doesn't get changed by Rubik having the shard. And you can't steal Waves of Wisdom, so that one doesn't matter. Not the craziest Rubik shard game, but save is always good. The rest is just gravy. Savoury characters are going to set up to get themselves another Roshan. This one should once again go pretty uncontested, I say, but there is a smoke. They're going to hear the roar. So this one is going to be a fight if 5reg 5ive can get here fast enough. Ophelia sitting out in front, ready to scout out. Praetor and Uranium Heart connecting, but going to get interrupted by Ophelia. They're right there and ready and waiting. Infest onto the Tiny with the Ags, going to try to blow up Benj. Ophelia still getting zoned out on her own. Greg is going to go down. 4 Fates. This Epicenter is big, but trapped inside the ally Serpent Wards. Burrow strike out. 4beats is getting brought low, but able to bring down Pepperboy in time. X2, though, cleaning up on the back. My goodness. Buyback from Benj, connecting back in. X2 looking for the kill on a 4beats. The static link isn't enough. X2 gets the kill, and that is quite the fight from 5reg 5ive. That's a 3 for 5 because Benj bought back there. They're not going to have enough to finish off their Roche. I almost wonder if Benj and Ophelia's Illusion want to go for it. They're going to keep playing in this area. Ophelia doesn't care too much if this illusion dies. Benj jumps in, but into the silence, 4-step forward, throws the avalanche back, but it's not onto X2. Ophelia's illusion is going to go down, and now Benj is going to be in trouble. Left here all alone. Ursi's going to start throwing out the glaives. Still sitting a little low on the silencer. Curse is there for the slow. X2 jumps in, has the silence from the fear, and they bring down Benj. That's going to be a dieback on the Tiny. And now 5reg 5ive is going to say, hey, they did get pretty far along into this Roche. Don't mind if I do. Let's have a little late-night snack for our Night Stalker. And pick up an Aegis. See if they... Ooh, Pepperboy's here. Oh, Pepperboy. Celestial Hammer in. Snatched by... The kill is stolen by Pepperboy. X2 gets the Aegis, but then immediately goes down. 4-Fates and Ophelia are here. They bring down Greg, and X2 is going to be... Nice blink away! Oh my god, they have no ideas here. Celestial Hammer goes out, but they don't have an interrupt. Well played by X2. Wow. It's crazy. So yeah, Pepperboy finishes off the Roche kill, but X2 is still able to pick it up. And the fact that X2 gets out there is insane. That blink on the respawn was incredible.
The dire best do something
So
about
that Aegis is basically fully negated. The gold for the Roche does go to Savoury Characters. This game is now quite close, and the win probability is actually significantly favoring 5reg 5ive at this point, despite Savoury still having the net worth lead. I think these cores on the side of 5reg 5ive are getting very hard to deal with. Seems like anybody, like, based on that, how that last fight, the, like, original fight in Roche went, it's like everybody on these teams is killable at this point. There's plenty of damage on both sides. They're going to chase forward onto Pepperboy, has the Celestial Hammer to get up to the high ground. 4-Fates is there as well, but the Infest is in. That's going to bring Uranium Heart in deeper. Benj is there waiting, goes for the Rage TP out. Is Ophelia there? They have the stun anyway. Or maybe cancels it. Pepperboy now going to get swapped back. Nice save by Ophelia, but Pepperboy will still go down. Uranium Heart does fall. X2 in. Global Silence keeping them controlled. Shackle out onto Benj. Kill out on X2 from Ophelia, and now she's going to try to stand her ground. 4-Beat's looking to connect in. Foul play, not going to be enough. Ophelia brings down another. Praetor's still standing in the middle. 4-Beat's coming back in. Low health in the Sandstorm. Burrow Strike over from Praetor. Going to find another kill. Ultra kill for Praetor, but swapped back, and a triple kill for Ophelia, as another absolutely chaotic fight ends with 4 dead on both sides. Only 4-Beats and Ursi left standing. I think that's going to go down as a favored fight for Savoury Characters. We'll see what the stats show once we get our fight summary, but my goodness, that all started from just like a little chase, 2 heroes onto Dawnbreaker. Looks like it's just going to be a pickoff on the Dawn. Maybe she gets out and they can't follow up, and it just all hell breaks loose in both directions. Come on, give me the fight summary. I want to know who that was better for. I guess we can see it this way. It was better for Savoury Characters. They get most of their gold lead back. Win probability still slightly favoring the Radiant. Maybe after that tower falls. It's right in the middle. Really anybody's game at this point, which I mean, you have to agree with when you see how these fights go. Everybody dies. Everybody. Both sides. Everybody's limping away or just on the ground. I won't be surprised if at some point we see a fight where the only hero left standing is Ophelia's illusion. Like, literally all 10 dead.
Yes, bountiful.
Things settle down for the moment. It'll be a while to the next Aegis since it got used immediately. Got basically the same build as last game for Pepperboy's Dawnbreaker. This Assault Kuroth does so much more in this lineup, though, with Ophelia on a physical damage core. Have the Ponda done on Vengeful Spirit. I'm excited to see that connect, as Silence to interrupt Pepperboy's ult in. Praetor controlling up both supports. X2 over on the side. They've got 4 beats locked in jail. In Snake Jail, Ophelia jumping in. They do finish off Greg, and now Praetor trying to find it, but Ursi raining in these blades from the back. X2 and Uranium Heart tearing them apart. Now the control onto Pepperboy. Ben trying to look for a way to help out. Throws out the Avalanche. Swap back. Ophelia trying to finish off Ursi. Buyback from Greg. Uranium explodes out of Pepperboy and finishes off the Dawnbreaker. Now they're controlling up the Venge Illusion, who's still trying to chase down Ursi. Will manage to get that kill. And now it's going to look for another. The Shackles are there. Has the shield, but the control is way too much. Uranium Heart showing up as well, Ophelia. Not going to be able to bring down Greg, but is just going to force everybody back into their base. That hero's already dead. And she's getting a kill. Causing all of this chaos. This is really showing what the core Venge can do. It's looked real good this game. Top of the net worth. So impressive for a core Venge. And I mean, I imagine it's largely because of this Ags and just like being alive and continuing to being half alive and finishing fights with the Illusion. Overall, though, that's another big swing back for 5reg 5ive. Still really dead even on the win probability. Savoury Characters maintaining a 5k net worth lead now. They keep having a good spike, and then it goes right back. This is even more of a back and forth than last game. 45-36 at 44 minutes. The fights have been absolutely wild. And I agree with Dota Plus. Who wins this game is all going to come down to execution. These drafts are quite even, and the setup, the farm where everybody's at so far in the game is so even that, like, it's going to be who can outplay each other, who can outposition each other, who's getting the better vision. Good vision on the Radiant side here, so it will be expiring soon. Both teams kind of kept to kind of stuck on their own sides of the map for the moment. See, Blink, Shiva's, Bloodstone, Ags finished on Praetor, also that Shard. Who's got a... Yeah, most of the Ag Shards are available. Praetor looking to maybe set up on Pepperboy. This is one of your better chances. Oh, all of 5reg 5ive's coming over here, and they see the Lotus is disappearing. Praetor's going to jump in with the Blink. Dark Ascension used. Or actually, oh yeah, Dark Ascension is used, as Knight was connecting anyway. Harpoon into the Crippling Fear, and that's a nice little pick-off. Yeah, that's exactly the hero that you want to find alone, because it means there's no chance of Solar Guardian coming in and extending the fights. Very well executed by 5reg 5ive. That's the first, like... I don't want to say free kill, but, like, kill without, I guess free, like, kill without spending anything. It's, well, that's what free means, but, like,
Dire just couldn't save that bottom tower.
They'll steal away the Tormentor as well, and they're going to look to contest this. Uranium Heart immediately in. Static Link is still going off during the Infest, which is kind of wild. Praetor in on the back, trying to bring down Ophelia, but now getting controlled up. X2's there as well, trying to finish off the Vengeful Spirit. They will be able to. Now she's in with the second life. The swap. Praetor gets brought down. X2 falling low as 4 beats connects in. Crippling Fear from Forfeit's getting brought low. The zaps from Greg coming in from the low ground, and this is the kind of fights we've been seeing. Uranium Heart now once again linked up, and 4 beats standing in the middle of everybody, making me eat my words when I said I was worried about how this Razor scales into the late game, because when you get off static links like this, there is no chance that you are losing these fights. Praetor back in on the buyback, swap back though, and now the link again. X2 though on top of 4 beats, and that's going to be both 4 beats and Venge going down, and Ophelia will fall as well, so 5reg 5ive get a punish. Great buybacks there, and keep the game going on even more. I mean, everybody dies. The only Pepperboy lived because he was already dead. Like, gold change, everybody got gold. It's more of a swing for Savoury characters because you have these buybacks, but, like, everybody. Praetor wants more. Immediately shoving down this mid lane. Now, all the buybacks are available for Savoury characters, so this can get a little dicey for 5reg 5, because if Savoury characters spend some buybacks to defend their high ground, and you lose too many heroes when they do so, as they're going to jump in onto Pepperboy. They really want to try to get some of these buybacks out. Pepperboy, though, standing their ground 1v2. Ursi connecting in now, too. BKB from X2. They really want to get something here. They either want to punish Pepperboy or bring out some buybacks, but Rubik's going to respawn. They're going to see the other respawn timers coming up, and 5reg 5 are going to retreat. They respect the availability of the buybacks, know that they don't have their own. What the hell is this Roshan's banner doing here? And they retreat and reset. So kind of back to the state we were in. This Roshan, which is coming up very soon, less than 30 seconds away, that's going to be the next big target for both teams. And it's going to spawn... Oh, there's a clarity here. It's going to spawn up on the Dire side. But it won't be there for long. Yeah, 4 beats is on top of this timer. Start farming in the area, let the team connect. X2 and Praetor, they're heading up here too. Uranium Heart is right at the Twin Gate. This could be another all-out brawl. Smoke up, it's going to pop on Praetor. They get the Avalanche, have the Magic Missile follow up. There's the Vision, the swap back. Controlling Praetor, has the BKB, Static Link's there, trying to heal up with the Bloodstone. Burrow Strike through 3, Pepperboy coming in, trying to connect with the Solar Guardian. It's going to be Praetor falling first. X2 now just forced to retreat, trying to help out, but now the swap back from Ophelia. They're going to bring down Greg. Benj does go down to X2. Now just going to be forced to fly away. Eats the Ancient Creep, hiding over in the crevice. But they know that the buyback isn't available for Praetor. Double kill for X2, who lets everybody walk past him, then sneaks in and gets the pickup on Forfates. Orbeat's going to go over and chase in, but Ophelia and Pepperboy, they're right in onto these buildings. Uranium Heart needs to defend, but it's going to be a 3v3 for now, and the potential for buybacks from the supports. Nice play by 4beats, picking up the outpost that's going to allow 4fates to buy back. Global Silence out onto Pepperboy, they're getting the damage, X2 on top. And they're going to get this punish as the rest of Savoury characters look to connect. Pepperboy buys back, though. Doesn't quite have the Solar Guardian available. Is going to be forced to TP to the outpost. X2 is going to go down, though. That's another hero without the buyback. Ophelia dies, but has the second life from the Ag. Swaps back. Uranium Heart. Control from Benj. Gets the Avalanche. Gets the toss. Uranium just looking for somebody, some way to escape. Has to buy back, but now they're left with only 2 to defend into 5. Savoury characters, they're immediately on to tier 4s. They have the Fortify that's going to extend this a little bit more, but it's such a hard defense. They've got Greg coming back up with the Shadow Shaman. It'll at least make it a 3v5. And only 1 life on the Vengeful Swerve. Benj immediately is there with the Avalanche. They have the control, trying to bring down the Dawnbreaker, but Greg is already going to go down. Toss out on top of Ursi as well. Uranium Heart getting linked up, brought down, and that's going to be the game. Chasing into the fountain, Ophelia wants the last kill. GG, well played is called, and Savoury characters take the series 2-0 in an absolutely chaotic bloodbath. My goodness. What an absolutely fun game. Savoury characters getting themselves on the board, evening up their record to 1-1 in the series columns. Man, what a great showing in both of these games for them. MVP, gotta be Ophelia, Sleeping Maiden, Chio, whichever you prefer, whichever she prefers, really, which I don't know. Spectacular performance on this mid-Venge. 18, 11, and 29, just involved constantly, getting so much value out of these 2 lives from the Ag Scepter. I didn't notice how much damage was dealt by this Conda. Because it's a decent amount of damage. Nothing crazy. I don't know how much I love that, but I don't know that there's anything I would be desperate to see that swapped in for anyway. Support of the game, it was a good performance by both Benj and Forfates. Honestly, I was really impressed by Ursi. I'm gonna give the supported game to Ursi, even though they lost. I didn't notice the Midas, so I'm not gonna comment on it now, but yeah, I feel like I was constantly seeing this silencer getting, like, doing tons of damage in these fights. And really helping win these chaotic fights when 5reg 5ive was winning the fights. Yeah, damage was like right on par with Uranium Harden X2 for Mercy. So much damage by Praetor. Holy cow. And yeah, the damage, this 70k damage on a mid-vengeful spirit, this is something you gotta watch out for if you're playing against Savoury Characters now. Because, I mean, this came out at the end of the draft, but you could easily see them picking it up early in the draft to flex it between support and core. Because I guarantee their supports play this hero. I'm pretty sure I've seen Benj play Vengeful Spirit plenty of times. That's gonna be something to watch out for if you're playing against this team, because I've seen, not in this league. I mean, there was this chunk of time where we were seeing a lot of core Venge in the pro scene, and it worked sometimes. I was never super convinced by it, but in this game, this looked so good. So definitely something to keep an eye out for going forward. All right, that's going to do it for our first series. We do have a second Savoury Characters series tonight that I would like to cast. That is scheduled for 8:15, I believe. That's the week 2. Yeah, 8:15 Savoury Characters for versus Marcy Bo2. This should be a great series as well. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I'm going to decide what I want to do in the meantime, because we've got like 45 minutes to kill. I'm going to take a break for a bit. I'm going to eat some more food, because I only had part of my dinner earlier before the series started. So I'll take a break. I might hop back in before the series starts. Might check out some of the stuff we missed in the 2 games. Might just play an overthrow or something. We'll see. So stay tuned, and see you back here soon.